theme of last week's analysis was the rally was getting a little too hot, but it was warranted. It was warranted to see a rally. Then Thursday, I worked at the farm, got a gauge on people as a whole. How are they reacting in public? How are they handling the situation? They seem to be handling it pretty good, shifting to the human mind rather quick. But then Friday, I talked to somebody from Beijing who presented a contrary opinion, saying that people were still kind of afraid to go to things like gyms. So then we let the weekend pass through. We started the week, and we had 2 down days. Looks like the market is beginning to pull back a little bit. So how am I reading this? Well, ultimately what I want is for the market to chill. Got a little hot on that second rally, and the second rally was warranted. The curve was beginning to flatten. That was the flattening curve rally. And when the curve flattens, the market should rally. It did, but it rallied a little too hot. We were getting a little too close to the all-time highs. So to see this pullback 2 consecutive days, I'm not afraid. I think it's very healthy. I want to see a plus minus 5% range, so that's a total of 10% range, with Friday being the high point of that. So last week, I was talking about this 5 plus minus 5% range. We kind of just kept going through it. It wasn't holding to that range. It wasn't looking like a flattening of the range. But this should start to form over the long, medium term. It's not, a quick trend. We just flatten. It's more of a range. It's like a long, we're in a bull market, okay? We were in a bear market. It lasted a very short period of time. As soon as we hit the bottom, that was a start of a new bull market. But it's the start of a new bull market. It's not going to be a straight shoot up, just like it was a straight shoot down, okay? I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning, and for a long time, we've been saying the market takes the elevator on the way down and the stairs on the way up. And that's what's happening here. It's not, the bull market isn't going to look like that. It's not a V-shaped recovery in the stock market. It's kind of more like a slower uptrend. So we had a hot rally off the bottom. We had an initial, we've hit the bottom rally. And then we had a second flattening of the curve rally. And, we've kind of had that. We've kind of had the good news. Now we're going to start getting some earnings that are going to be pretty ugly. And we're going to start seeing some states delay slightly, turning on. We only have Georgia, which is kind of opening on Friday. So it looks like we're going to push that back this extend date. And, early on, we've been saying when it was the May 1st deadline, the one thing that would lead to a little bit of downturn would be pushing back the May 1st deadline. So let me say that we're not hitting the bottom again. The pullback is not that. The pullback is the rally's been too hot and we need to pull back a little bit. That's what the stock market does. It doesn't take the elevator on the way up. It takes the stairs on the way up. So we're taking the stairs. It's time for a little pullback, let things cool off a bit. So the way it feels like to me is we're approaching back fair value. I was not buying Friday. I was not buying Thursday of last week. I was just holding. But I'm not selling today. I wasn't selling yesterday. I'm not going to sell tomorrow. This is not, there's no reason to sell. And we're approaching reasons to buy. You want to buy on pullbacks. Pullbacks imply a lot of, some fear, some hesitation. But as Warren Buffett says, be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. So when there's a pullback, you buy. You have to fight it's counterintuitive, but you have to fight your instinct to want to sell. You have to be calm, be logical, and want to buy. Now, I don't think it's a super attractive buy level yet where we've kind of pulled back like 4%, 5%. We're kind of maybe more in the middle of what might be a flattening, but I want to be buying at the bottom of this supposed range. And I don't know if it's going to be a exact plus minus 5% range. If you've seen the trolls are the ones who want to, be about that. And that's kind of how I visualize it, how I feel in my gut, but it could be plus minus 6%. So I think we deserve to flatten. And if we fall a couple more percent, I'll start nibbling again. I got a little more cash on the sidelines. That said, I got all my positions at very low levels. So I'm going to be averaging up on the buy price, but we'll take it. I'd rather buy a good company at a fair price, which I think we're kind of at now, but hopefully we'll get to a good price. So a good company at a good price would be fantastic. Then a fair company at a good price. So look for the good companies at fair or good prices. And if you find a fair company and the price is phenomenal, you can still buy that, but that's a different philosophical discussion for another time. Do you buy good or fair companies? So if you got questions about that, leave them in the comments. We'll answer them in the comments, or maybe we'll do some sort of special video. So until tomorrow, peace.